Have you ever felt like you're carrying this secret superpower around, but nobody even sees you? Like, no matter how much you want to break out, life just keeps handing you one mop and bucket after another? Yeah, welcome to Jessica Parker's world. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't some from the bottom now we hear fairy tale. This is about the day someone finally noticed the invisible girl at the five-star Skyline Suites in Chicago. A woman who had spent 3 years hiding her best gift because she was sure nobody would care until the day it mattered most. Jessica was 28, and by then she could blend in with hotel wallpaper, shoulders rounded, eyes down, her whole vibe saying, "Don't mind me." She'd mastered that art, not because she was shy, but because sticking out just seemed like asking for trouble. She'd clock in, push her cleaning cart, nod when told, never show off, never tell anyone what she did after hours. If you asked the other staff, Jessica was just that girl who took all the graveyard shifts and never complained. Chloe Winters, the event manager. Let me tell you, she treated Jessica like part of the furniture. Useful, but nothing special. But here's what nobody knew. Jessica could speak Mandarin. Not the how are you stuff. I mean, she could recite poetry, talk business, understand all the little cultural things most people miss. It started the night after her mom's funeral. Her mom, Ellen, always dreamed of seeing the world, but life and then cancer got in the way. Jessica picked up her mom's old Mandarin textbook, whispered, "I'll see it for you, Mom," and cried all over those yellow pages. She couldn't afford plane tickets, but she could travel online, so she downloaded every app, joined forums, watched YouTube for hours. What started as a tribute just took over her life. Still, she never told a soul. Who'd believe her anyway? Only Henry, the 67-year-old night security guard, ever noticed. He'd catch her scribbling characters on her break and shake his head. "You know your problem, kid? You got gold inside you, but you act like you're made of dirt. The world can't see what you never show." Jessica would laugh it off. "Just a hobby," she'd say. But that stuck with her, even though she figured it'd never matter. Then, one day it did. It was the morning of the Big Miles Industries conference. Rumor had it Adrian Miles himself was coming. The CEO was kid who made Fortune 500 before 30. Hotel staff was on high alert. Chloe barked out orders, told everyone to be perfect, gave Jessica the 14th floor, because that's where the Chinese guests are, and at least if she's up there, nobody'll have to watch her struggle with English. Jessica burned inside. If Chloe only knew, right? But she just pushed her cart into the elevator, Henry giving her this look, like he knew a plot twist was coming. "Remember what I told you, kid. Don't die in silence." The 14th floor was dead quiet, most guests out at the conference. Jessica worked, reciting Mandarin under her breath, moving fast. In one suite, she found a magazine with Adrian Miles on the cover, talking about expanding to Asia. She rolled her eyes, business bigwigs and their dreams. By late afternoon, she was cleaning the executive lounge, humming to herself, assuming she was alone, until a voice barked out from the next room. "No, that's not what I'm saying at all." The man was stressed, talking on the phone. Jessica peeked, and, sure enough, it was Adrian himself, jacket off, sleeves rolled up, and absolutely losing his mind. Apparently, some huge contract was falling apart because nobody could speak Mandarin. "Can anyone translate? I need help. This is ridiculous." Jessica froze. This was her shot, right? But every instinct screamed, "Don't. What if you screw up? What if you sound dumb?" Then she caught herself reflected in the elevator doors, small, hunched, fading. She remembered her mom, her promise, Henry's words. So, for once, she moved toward the fear. She tapped on the door, her voice barely a whisper. "Excuse me, Mr. Miles, I speak Chinese. I could help if you want." Adrian looked at her like she'd grown a second head, then handed her the phone. And here's where the magic happened. Jessica slipped into Mandarin like she was born to do it. In 15 minutes, she'd fixed the entire mess, translating, explaining, making both sides laugh. When it was over, Adrian just stared at her. Jessica panicked, mumbled an apology, and tried to disappear. All shift, she buzzed with adrenaline. For once, she wasn't invisible. She was needed. But by the time she clocked out, she figured it was over. Tomorrow she'd just be the cleaner again. Then, outside, Henry was waiting. "Heard about your heroics. It's all over your face. The question is, what are you going to do now that the whole world's seen you?" Jessica shrugged, playing it cool, but the truth was, she felt changed. She had no clue that Adrian was upstairs, already making a call to HR. Find out about the housekeeper who speaks Mandarin. I think we've got something special. The next day, Jessica went back to routine, convinced she'd imagined everything. Chloe dumped more work on her, acted like nothing happened. Jessica told herself that was fine, just a one-time thing. But in her gut, she knew something had shifted. She caught her reflection in a mirror. This time, really looked, saw her mom's eyes, saw that maybe she was more than she'd let herself believe. Later that day, she was called to the conference room. She figured it was for cleaning, except Adrian was waiting, hotel management in tow. He turned and said, "Actually, I have something specific to discuss. Yesterday, your housekeeper saved a multi-million-dollar deal." The managers were lost. Adrian asked Jessica to translate, and as she did, you could see their jaws drop. Nobody expected that. Chloe tried to brush it off, but Adrian kept pushing. Why isn't she doing this professionally? Why is she cleaning rooms? Jessica could only stammer. "I didn't think I was good enough. No degree, no connections." That's when Adrian made the offer. Come work for him, be a translator and cultural liaison, help with negotiations in Shanghai. Chloe tried to intervene, said Jessica wasn't qualified. But Adrian cut her off. When everyone else froze, Jessica stepped up. "That's who I want representing my company." Jessica stood there, stuck between two lives, the safe, small one, or the scary, new one. "I don't need time," she heard herself say. "I'll do it." And just like that, her life cracked wide open. She went from scrubbing floors to sitting at a table with executives, offering insight into Chinese culture, watching even the biggest names nod at her advice. The best part? She wasn't alone. Miranda, the chief of staff, took her under her wing, and Henry kept cheering her on. On her way to Shanghai, she saw Chloe again, now forced to play hotel liaison and watch Jessica shine. In China, Jessica's ability to bridge not just language, but understanding made her indispensable. Even Mr. Jin from the Young Corporation sought her out for advice. One night in Shanghai, looking out over the city, Jessica realized this was just the beginning. She remembered a proverb Henry once gave her. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Hers began the day she decided to speak up. A year later, Jessica Parker stood on the stage at Skyline Suites. Same hotel, different world. Now she was director of Asian market development, telling a room full of execs and housekeepers how she almost didn't answer the phone that changed her life. "Transformation isn't always about becoming someone new," she said. "Sometimes it's about finally letting yourself be seen." She thanked Henry, smiled at Chloe, and made sure to take the time to inspire the next invisible dreamer, Maria, a new housekeeper, who came up shyly to thank her. Jessica squeezed her hand. "Whatever you're carrying, don't let go of it. It matters." Maybe that's what it's all about. Realizing the only permission you ever needed was your own. Because courage? It's not the absence of fear. It's doing it anyway, just once, and then again. So, if Jessica's story sounds anything like the voice in your own head, maybe it's time to step forward, even if your hands are shaking. Now I'm curious. If you were Jessica, would you have answered that call, or played it safe? What's the one thing you're keeping hidden that the world deserves to see? Drop your thoughts. Let's talk about what it really means to be seen. And hey, maybe somebody reading is about to take their own first step.